So today is the last lesson, like I said, and we're going to be solving systems of equations by graphing. So remember that we talked about this yesterday. Lines can intersect, and that would be the solution. They'll be parallel, there'll be no solution, or they will be the exact same line that's an infinite number of solutions. So what we're going to do is we're going to solve all these equations for y and graph them really quick. It's very simple. We've done it before. We're just putting two lines on the same graph this time. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite that top line so I can start solving it for y. So to get y by itself, you're going to always move the x term first. So I would have 3y equals x plus 12 if I put that in the correct order. So now after you move the x term, you're going to divide by that number in front of y. So you always do the same thing. It's like, it's a repetitive pattern. Move the x, divide by the number. Move the x, divide by the number. Move the x, divide by the number. It's very simple stuff. Okay, so those threes cancel. Looks like I have y equals, put the 1 in front, so that would be 1/3 x, and then 12 divided by 3 is 4. Let's go ahead and graph that line. You would go, remember this is first, that's the y-intercept. It tells me to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, put your first point. And then the slope, remember, is second, and it is rise over run. So it says to go up 1 and right 3 from this point. So up 1, right 3, up 1, right 3, up 1, right 3. I'm going to do that down 1, left 3 also. Switch both directions and it's the same. You see they still make the line down 1, right 3. Okay, and then I'm going to connect those points. I don't have a straight edge. I didn't bring one home with me, so don't hate on me for not having my straight line. Don't forget those arrowheads on the end. Okay, that line is graphed, nice and easy. Second line only takes one step. You just have to move the x. So it looks like y equals, in the correct order, negative x plus 2. Negative x plus 2. Okay, remember, this number is first. It is the y-intercept, so we go up 2. And then the slope is the second number. It is rise over run. Remember, if there's not a number in front, it is 1, and you can put any whole number over 1. So you always make it a fraction. So that's saying to go down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. So from this point, down 1, right 1, 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 down 1, right 1. Or up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1. And that's enough. We see where they intersect. Connect them as best you can. Okay, and then now this sadly did not hit very well, which means I probably made a mistake. Weird. That doesn't normally happen. What did I do wrong? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Close enough, right? So it didn't hit perfectly, so we're just going to guesstimate. The point of intersection would be, looks like negative 1.5 and 1, 2, 3 and a quarter maybe. We'll call it 3.5. That's close enough. So this would mean x would equal and y would equal, right? So x is negative 1.5, y would be 3. Actually, I think that works out pretty nicely. 3.5, I mean. Okay, so that's close enough. With graphs, sometimes they don't hit perfectly on grid lines. That's one drawback to them. Okay, let's look at this second one. We'll take that top one and solve it first. So let me rewrite it. The goal is to solve it for y. So the first thing you do is move the x. So negative y equals negative x plus 3. Remember, you need positive y. So if you change the sign of it, you change the sign of everything else. So that says to go down 3. And then the slope, remember, is 1 over 1. So that says to go up 1, right 1. And we're going to do that a lot. I want to fill in that whole graph because I don't know where the other line is going to be. So connect them. Oh, I got a little off there. That's what happens when you don't use a straight edge, right? All right, second line. Move the x. 2y equals negative x plus 18. Divide by 2. And y equals negative 1 over 2. Don't forget that 1 in front of the x. Plus 9. So this is first. It's the y-intercept. It says to go up 9. So that's right there. And then my slope remember, is rise over run, -1 over 2. So that is telling me to go down 1 and right 2. Down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. All right, and we see the intersection. So we just have to name that point of intersection. So that is over 8. Oh man, that's a terrible 8. Over 8 and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 8, 5 is the solution. If they ask it for what does x equal and what does y equal, x would be 8 and y would be 5. Okay, let's look at number 3. We're given a different one. Hopefully you remember that. If not, it's very easy. Those are the easiest ones to graph if you don't remember. So let's look at that top line. We'll rewrite it so we can solve it for y. So first, move the x. So I have 3y equals, in the correct order, -2x minus 2. Then divide by 3 to each term. So that means y would equal -2/3 x minus 2/3, which is gross, but that's okay. We can graph that. So my y-intercept is -2/3. So that's down 2/3. So that's not quite to down 1. It's a little less than 1. Now my slope says to go down 2 and right 3. So from this point, if we go down 2, we're still not all the way to that grid line. And then we go right 1, 2, 3. So it'll be about there. And we'll do that a few times. Down 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. Or up 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. Or up 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. Up 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've got that line. I'm going to move it so I can draw a pretty straight line. Not too shabby. Okay, second line, very easy. Remember, if it's x equals a number or y equals a number, very simple. If it's x equals 2, we go to 2 on the x-axis. And we draw the line the opposite direction of the axis we're on. If we're on the x-axis, which is horizontal, our line goes the opposite direction. It would be vertical. So there's the second line. Very easy. If it were y equals a number, we would go to y equals whatever that number is, and it would be a horizontal line. All right, so then we just name that point of intersection. That is 2, -2. So there it is as a coordinate. If they ask you what would x equal and what would y equal, x would be 2, which makes sense because that's the equation, and y would equal -2. Awesome. On the back, 3 more examples. All right, let's solve that equation. Top one, we'll rewrite it, solve it for y. We have to move the x over. So y equals, in the correct order, -2x plus 7. So we'll go up 7 to start. And then our slope, if it's not a fraction, make it a fraction by putting it over 1. That tells us to go down 2 and right 1. We'll do that a few times. Down 2 and right 1. Or up 2 and left 1. Might as well fill it in. And then make that straight line. Yikes. Not great. That's okay. It'll work. Second line, just have to get y by itself, divide both sides by 2, and y equals -2x. All right, so remember, what's the y-intercept of that number over here? If it's blank, it's a 0, so we start at the origin. And then if it's not a fraction, make it a fraction by putting it over 1. So it's to go down 2, right 1. Do that a few times. Or up 2, left 1. Do that a few times. And look at those lines. They are parallel, right? They never intersect. They're going the same direction. Their slopes are the same. Their y-intercepts are different. So what does that mean again? Do you remember? No solution. If they don't intersect, there's no solution where both of them work. Okay. Number 5, let's try that one. Let's see what that one does. Okay, top line, x minus y equals 3. Okay, to solve it for y, we would move the x over. Negative y equals negative x plus 3 in the correct order. And we want positive y, so that'd be a positive x and minus 3. Let's graph that line. Y-intercept says to go down 3. The slope is 1 over 1, so it's up 1, right 1. Connect all of those. You could also go down 1, left 1 for a few. Connect all. Oh my goodness. That first attempt was just bad. That's okay. Look at the second one. Add x to both sides. Y equals a positive x minus 3. Let's graph that line. Down 3, and then up. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's the same line, same exact line. So the same other line would be right on top of it, right? So what did that mean? Do you remember? It means infinite number of solutions. You can pick any point on that line and it'll work for both of them. Why don't you pause here, try 6 on your own, and see how you do. All right, let's see how you did. First, we're going to rewrite that line so we have some room to work it. We're getting y by itself, so we'd start by moving the x. 3y equals, in the correct order, 4x minus 3. Next, divide each term by 3 to get that y by itself. And y would equal 4/3 x minus 1. So the y-intercept says to go down 1. And then from there, you should have gone up 1, 2, 3, 4, and right 1, 2, 3. Do that a couple times. Or down 1, 2, 3, 4, and left 1, 2, 3. Once you have that, do your best attempt at a straight line, or use a straight edge if you have one. All right, second line, nice and easy. Y equals negative 5, so that's y equals a number. Remember, that means just go down to 5 on the y-intercept, so negative 5, and it goes the opposite direction as the axis that you're on. So since the axis is vertical, the line would be horizontal. We just have to name that intersection. What is that coordinate? It is negative 3, negative 5. So that's what it is as a coordinate. If they ask for what does x equal and what does y equal, x would be negative 3, y would be negative 5. So hopefully you did well there. That's all there is for today. We're just graphing lines and saying where they intersect. Let me know if you need any help on my math lab. Once again, it's been a great honor to be your teacher this year. I look forward to seeing you in the fall. Have a great day, guys. It's a positively Panther day.